Good morning, everybody. I saw Mary had messaged that she wasn't going to come on this morning, and she was going to be sitting and doing some slow stitching. So I decided to come on, and because we came across, sorry for the cough, you guys know I'm just getting over being sick. When we were going through my gel prints, I came across these, and they're perforated for bookmarks. And then Barb Owen came on yesterday and did bookmarks. I'm going to attempt something because my glue brush went to the great beyond. I'm going to attempt putting Mod Podge on just with one of these dollar store Betty Crocker or silicone things, just to see if it'll work with a napkin. I know I'm going to have to be extra careful, and I know that napkin, you have to divide the back. And everybody has their own method, but I figured I'd sit and mess with this until people realize I'm on, because this is an impromptu live. And if you think you're done and it still looks pretty opaque, that means there's another layer of tissue there. And the reason you want to remove the tissue is when you use the Mod Podge, it will actually make the layers delaminate from one another. And then your piece will start pulling apart on you. And I can tell I still have another piece of white on the back. That wasn't too bad. Napkins are another way, inexpensively, to, add some texture or interest. Like, see, we've even got just the faded bit from the printing of the napkin on that piece. But I want the full-on color. So that's what we've got here. And this is directional, so I need to pick one. I think I'm going to be bad and use a pair of scissors. Oh, that's my tea. If you don't mind, I'm going to grab that real quick. Doesn't look like anybody's in yet anyway. I've already had a cup of coffee. And my fellas have left for work. Greg was running a little late this morning. Scott got out on time. All right. And I know, blah, 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 you're supposed to rip them, wet it with a brush, blah, blah, blah. But because half of my napkin goes in one direction and half in the other, and these are bookmarks. All right, I can keep this piece for another project. There. And then this looks like it'll be perfect to just put down here. All right. Now I'm going to attempt putting it down in one piece. And I know a lot of people will tell you to rip your napkin into pieces, but I think it would be fun since I'm using this instead of a brush, which I've never done before. I tell you one thing, it goes down nice and smooth. And when I get done, I'm going to go back and finish watching Vicky, because Messy Table Studios put up a video today. Or it might have been last night. And I saw that Gina had a not so good birthday because she got food poisoning. That's awful. I hate that. I think you have to worry about that more these days than we used to have to. I'm going to just wipe up some of this that I got everywhere on this piece of tissue. All right. pretty good picked up. All right. Put this back down. Let's see if I can do a whole napkin and have it look all right. So I'm going to start over here, and or maybe in the middle. It's like I need an extra pair of hands. It doesn't matter if it's totally smooth, does it? And I just thought the gel print was real pretty, but then put this napkin on it, and when I cut it apart, the bookmarks will be nice. So I'm going to start in the middle and work my way out. Just real gentle. Get some more. Juanita Kitty is still out with her kittens, and she wasn't real happy with me yesterday because I went out and mowed the lawn, and that kind of spooked her a little bit. So she stayed gone somewhere most of the day yesterday, but she came back yesterday afternoon, which relieved me because, I mean, she is still healing from her little surgery. But I checked her, and she doesn't have any swelling or redness or anything. So she's doing okay. And I will say the kittens are extremely happy that their mama's back in the yard with them. They were so forlorn when she was up on the catio and they couldn't get to her and she couldn't get to them. And I was like, she's on vacation. She's having a hiatus from you guys. All right, that went down pretty good. I know you got to be careful. If you put too much pressure, you'll just pull your napkin apart. Now I'm working on a craft mat. Oh, that's going to clean up nice too, because that'll peel right off that Teflon. I think I kind of like using the Teflon for Mod Podge spreading. I will never, and I say this with great certainty, I will never buy another huge Mod Podge because I don't use it enough to, and then you get a film on top and I feel like it's a waste. So I'm just going to buy smaller packages of Mod Podge. I always want to say Mod Podge, like it's MODGEPODGE, but it's not. It's just Mod Podge. So I'm going to put that back over here. I'm going to close the dining room door. Bernadette, just lay down. I got the dog back in. She usually stays in the yard until it gets hot, but this morning, because we're expecting, the hurricane to bring us a bunch of rain, and I am a little concerned because both Greg and Scott have some low-lying areas that could flood that they come through on their way to and from work. So I told Greg, especially in his car, he sits really low. I said, don't try to go through water or you'll flood your car out. That's why it's always important to learn several different ways to go to and from something you go to and from on a regular basis. All right. I do have my heat gun, but it's over by the window. So what else can I talk to you about while we're watching this dry? My plan is once it's dry, I'm going to go ahead and cut them apart. I don't think I can tear them apart on their perforations right now, so I'll just cut them. And then I think they'll almost be like instant bookmarks. Punch a hole, add a ribbon, and say done. But what I was thinking is no, I'll do it after. I want to laminate these. So I'd like to put a quote on the back of each one. So we need some kind of bookish quotes about reading or something. I'll have to look up some quotes to add. I went through all of the cards I have made recently. This is them. And I went ahead and I got my stamp that I used yesterday. I put one stamping on the back of each one. And I have a lot of cards I could mail out. I think I have some more that I've made that are on the other side of the room. We could do that while we're waiting for this to dry. Let me grab those and we'll look through some other cards I've made. Oh, yeah. I think these are. Oh my. All right. All right, I'm going to set this aside and we'll just do some card shares real quick and give this a chance to dry a bit while we're looking at cards. So this is turning into a card share. If something I come across doesn't have an envelope, I will need to grab an envelope. So this one was one of those all over dies, and it's got a piece of painty paper behind it. That's how I got the color and all the hearts. So that's a layered card. Live your dream with passion. And I did put my Aunt Beck's creations, and it looks like I tried to emboss on it. And I think I have a spare blue envelope here for some reason. But you know what? It's not going to fit in that envelope. That's probably why that one needs an envelope. This is just wishing you a happy birthday, kind of a random one. Has not been stamped on the back. It's a hello, rise and shine. I don't know that I made these, though. I think these might have been made by other people. So I don't know if I'll stamp these. I might have made them, a while ago. Oh, hi, SDSD. Yes, I will be starting on the Project Dress-A-Girl dresses now. I might cut out dresses today while it's raining and just get me a stack of dresses cut out, ready to go. Once they're cut out, because most people think sewing takes a lot of time. It's not the actual sewing that takes the time. It's tracing out patterns if you want to save your pattern so you can use it over and over. Then it's all the cutting time. Then you've got to add in fitting time if you're making it for somebody specific or yourself. For the little girl projects, I just make straight sizes out of the envelope, and they just find little girls that will fit them. So we're just doing some card shares right now of cards that I have made up, ready to go. Now, this is one of those cards I said I made up that's more like a postcard. This could be just tucked in Happy Mail, write my note in the back of it, and they could then just tuck this in their journal. So that's not like a mailing card. That's more of a tuck-in card. And that envelope won't fit that card either. Then I've got a couple postcards that I did. These I did sign, but I didn't date them. But these were some doodles, just doodle cards that I did. And thank you for the compliments. Thank you. Let me do something real quick here. It's not letting me have camera control. So the auto zoom is going to stay on. And that's my fault because when I turned my computer on this morning, I didn't plug my camera in. And for some reason, it doesn't totally connect if I try to plug the camera in after the computer is started up. I don't know. Now, these were some that were made with some of those bits that we used the other day. This hasn't been stamped either. Here's another one we made the other day. I want to get all of the cards that I mailed put into my box, but I got to get them all stamped first. Now, these were done with like a painted background that we did that I cut into pieces and turned into cards. So that's what that one is. See, that one I did with a handmade. So that one's stamped. This one probably won't fit in my box. These next few probably won't fit in the box, but they've already been signed in some manner. So whoever gets them knows it's from me. I think the best way to deal with these big cards like this is to go ahead and mail them out. I tried to use some of this really old, do you remember it's the Tim Holtz paint that was in a little bucket, Distress, and this is the peeled where it makes it look like Distress paint. What's that called? I don't remember. So these were a lot of fun to do. These are the type of cards I like to make. If we do like a dirty dozen or a pick 10 or something like that, those are the kind of cards I like to do up because you can just cut your background up. These again are just some postcardy types or tuck-in cards. These haven't been signed. I'll just sign them. But these were just using different magazines and images just to make really fast cards. It's like paper, an image, and a saying. These are all that kind of business where they just have a piece of white paper on the back that I can write my note on. Really, they're tuck-ins. This was a freebie from Strawberry Moon. I'll probably keep that just in a journal so I have the address and all. Strawberry Moon is a magazine. Have these been signed? No. So again, these were just old scrapbook paper and an image out of a magazine. Some dolphins. And then that's got a die cut magazine image and then some papers, just layered up papers. Just play with your papers and put different combinations together and then layer them up and then find a focal image and pop it down. Did I sign these? No, I did not. That'll have to be stamped. I'll go back through these and stamp the ones that do. These have their envelopes with them. That's how I know that, you know, they aren't just tuck-ins. They're actual cards. Now these, all of this here, let me get these out. These were a really old kit that I bought when I worked at Joann's like 20 years ago now, or more. I just went through and I used them until they were used up, and they came with the envelopes. And so I don't know that I even stamped these. I didn't stamp them with any of them, anything. So a bunch of them just say hello sunshine. That one says hello friend, hello friend, hello friend. That one says sending you a hello. So kits can be fun too, especially if you find them on clearance or whatever. And this was a fairy kind of playing card. And I just used it on a piece of painty paper. And then there's another piece of painty paper here. And then slapped a quote on it. Again, I didn't stamp it. All right, these are postcards. Thoughts think for themselves. There is a voice that doesn't use words. Listen. The river is everywhere. It's never too late to do nothing. No seed ever sees the flower. When you can bear your own silence, you are free. And that was that kind of style of postcard. I've already done the postcard bit. And I don't care if stuff leaks to the back. I think that adds to the character. I might use a black Sharpie on the edges of these before I send them out to just cover the white paper around the edge. It'll make the postcard pop a little bit more. And there's no clear coat on them. I exist as I am, and that is enough. And now this one was a background that I added borders to the postcards. I added glitter glue here and there, and it just adds dimension. Zen teaches nothing. It merely enables us to wake up and become aware. And then I think there's one more here. There's that one. This one says, don't try to steer the river. I'm sorry, I'm hearing things. Hang on. That is weird. Ernie, I'm going to put you in there so I can put the cat food back down. I don't know. I swear I heard it sounded like the cat at the back door, and I'm like, what? I didn't know if maybe Juanita wanted back up on the porch. That was strange. Anyhow, sorry. Sometimes I'm like, squirrel. All right, these are more from that kit, but I had run out of the card bases that came with the kit. So I just put them on some of the blanks I had. The two different designs. Oops, almost separated those. And again, these need to be stamped. Sorry about that. I think when my son lived here by himself, when we were living up in Greenville, and I had to come and go and this, that, and the other, and I think our power bill went up because my son leaves everything on. I mean, he leaves everything on. All these lights are still on. It's like, man. You need to move out and pay your own bills so you can see leaving lights on costs money. These are ready to go. They're just a different style card. All right, so I'm going to move these back out of my way. And I'll bring the bookmarks back, and we'll see if we're at a point where we can think about cutting them apart. Still wet. All right, hang on. I'll just dry them a little bit. And I bet it's not plugged in. Of course not. Sorry, this morning's kind of a hot mess. All right, let's see what we got. That's pretty good. It's not great, but it's all right. So now I'll cut it apart. I might use scissors because my rotary cutter is in need of a new blade, and I don't feel like looking for one right now. So it is perforated on the back. Pretty damp yet. These may have some wonky sides, but I'm okay with that. It's a strip of paper I can use on something else. And I'll be glad to get these bookmarks out of my painty paper collection of stuff. You can buy these bookmarks like at Staples or an office store, and then you can, decorate them through your printer, or you can decorate them like I'm doing here. Uh-oh. It is really hard to see that line. Maybe I should fold on that line. go. Maybe that is the key. Fold along the lines. That one cut a lot better when I folded it. So this has got like a little bit left on it. I'll just fold along that. Morning, Vicki. I was watching your video, and then I said, well, Mary's not coming on. I could do a quick video. I need to do something about getting more videos up, I guess. This summer, I just haven't felt like, doing anything. Maybe now that it won't be long and the weather will be turning. And then we'll be griping because it's cold. It really is cold for a very short amount of time here. That's a piece that you could use. So there's those two. And I think I will laminate them because you see how floppy these are. Once you put the napkin on, they get kind of floppy. So if I laminate them, it would strengthen them up. I'm glad I went out and mowed the lawn yesterday, even though I will say it was kind of a bear. But if I'd waited until after this had passed, it would have taken me forever to mow it because it was really thick. And I've always been the one to do the yard work. I think it's because I enjoy it. I grew up on a dairy farm, so I enjoy working in the dirt. I got out there and I got it mowed. And I took the trash to the curb last night, which I'm glad, or I'd have to go out in the rain and take it to the curb. I'm just hoping when they empty my trash, they don't set it down right in front of the mailbox like they've taken to doing. So it's like impossible for the poor mail lady to get the mail in the mailbox without getting herself drenched. Years and years ago, we had a mailman that he was just an awesome mailman. So like if we had a package, he would just get all of our regular mail and he would put it in a bundle and wrap it with rubber bands. And then he'd bring it to the porch instead of sticking them. What they do now is regular mail gets left in the mailbox. If the package won't fit in the mailbox, they put the mail in the mailbox and then they barely put the package up on the porch. Usually it's not under cover. It's sitting out from under the covered section of the porch. That's why I told Scott, I said, God, I'd love to add a big, deep porch to the front of this house that I could go out and sit in the cool, in the shade. All right. Oh, you know what? I set that in glue. I didn't see that glue right there. That's okay. And I was like, why does that look so rough? And why does this look so wide? It's because I haven't trimmed it yet. Durr. So I'm probably not going to stay on much longer. And I don't have a cool centering ruler. So I just kind of eyeball it. And punch a hole. Oh, and I wanted to put a quote on the back. These need to dry more too. That's still sticky there. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make bookmarks out of these, and I will post a picture of what they look like when they're finished, because these do need more time to dry and I need to get going. I wasn't going to stay on, but like 30 minutes today. So that's a way, if you've got a sheet of the bookmark paper that you've jelly plated on, just add a napkin and cut them apart, and you have like instant bookmarks. I'm going to look for a quote to put either on the front or the back of these. I need to sign and date them, and then I will laminate them and put a little hole in the top for a ribbon and put a ribbon on it. So I think they're really pretty, and they were kind of quick to do because I already had the paper painted, and a napkin is nothing. You just got to add drying time, which I didn't think about drying time. I said, I'll just pop on and I'll do these bookmarks, bam, and they'll be done. And it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. You have to wait for things to dry. All right. So thanks for being here. And again, when they're finished, I'll post a picture on my community tab and maybe over in my Facebook group. Thanks for being here. I hope everybody has a great day.